Good morning. Happy Tuesday. I love you, Rodney. Good morning to anybody watching this. Today marks less than 2 months, and I'll have 2 years. And, less than 60 days. And I remember trying to get to 60 days. I remember thinking that I could never get back to 60 days. I remember 72 days was that marker where I was like, man, I'll never get back there again. I just kept convincing myself that it was going to be impossible. And then I would try to tell myself if I could just get to 30 days, and I couldn't get more than 6. And, there's a lot of reasons why. A lot of reasons why. And it was all in my head. There was some external shit, but a lot of it was in my head. It's, what we tell ourselves is super important. Like this morning, I've got so much going on in my life financially, in terms of worry, but when I think about it, how do I get to a point where that's not fucking with me? It's not even the holidays yet, and I'm tripping. How do I get to that point, right? And it's a lot of prayer. It's a lot of perspective. Have I been here before? Yes. What in my life is going good? What in my life is going great? Did I trade off, right? See, all of that stuff will just go through my head. Trade-off. That's an interesting theory. Trade off happiness for financial success. But when I'm financially successful, I'm unhappy. That's not how that works. Where am I at? Where was the starting point? I use all these tools like surrender and acceptance and all that. I'm the happiest I've been probably ever. I'm never going to be, I don't think, so I shouldn't say never, right? I'm already going there. I don't know if I'm ever going to be 100 on every area of my life, because I'll be happy, financially success, and there'll be a challenge with how I am with my kids, or I'll be good with my kids in a wonderful relationship, but financial success won't be quite there, or I'll be good with my kids, financial success will be there, but I'll be lonely. All of those things I've experienced. And I think what goes on is the devil and my disease are constantly working on a plan, right? They're like, oh man, he's happy in a relationship now. His job is going good. He's taking care of some of the stuff from the house. Let's fucking make him feel insecure about how his kids feel about him. Let's go there. And then if we can do that long enough, then maybe, just maybe, we can get another thing. We can get another thing going, right? Maybe we'll make him think about his past. Maybe we'll make him think about some shit that he dealt with, that he hasn't dealt with in the future. Just all of these things. And I guess I'm just thinking out loud, because the bottom line is, what's the answer to all of this that I have found in these last almost 2 years? Trust that as long as I continue to do the things I'm supposed to do, not beat myself up so much for the things that I haven't done, continue to work towards a better version of me, then everything's going to work out, as long as I continue to stay straight and trust in God. Some of the stuff I was really tripping about not too long ago, I don't have to trip out anymore. So it's almost like it's replaced with other things, you know. And the bottom line is, like, I love to worry. I love to feel anxious. I must, because I do it so much and I do it so well. And the question isn't why do I have to always do this? The question is, what's going on? Like, what's going on with me? If I always want to grow, I'm never going to be quite where I want to be. But if I can have contentment in my heart and love in my heart and acceptance and surrender and all of these things that I apply, then the gratitudes will feel more genuine. And there's a lot that I'm grateful for today that I didn't have to be grateful for 2 years ago today. You know, 2 years ago today, I was sitting there wondering if I'm even going to ever get clean again. I was sitting there wondering, how much longer can I take? I was sitting there beating on myself, telling myself I'm alone and nobody's coming to help me, that the ropes aren't coming down. And so it's about perspective, right? Everything's happening the way it's going to happen. So if that's the case, what is the perspective? Like, I'm grateful that my kids love me. I'm grateful that my son is going to spread his wings and move out on his own. I'm grateful that Shayna is in college just pushing through. I'm grateful that my littles have me to take care of them the way I do. It may not look perfect, but it's so much better than it was. I'm grateful that I have somebody in my life that loves me the way I love them. I'm grateful that I'm clean today and I have only, 59 days left. 59 more days. 50 anything more days. I have pushed so fucking hard. I have grinded so fucking hard. And yes, I'm going to boast a little here. Because I'm always like, well, I usually like, what I do is I downplay it. And then I'll come on here and tell anybody who's willing to watch this, don't downplay your wins. And yet I do it. Because it's okay if I do it to myself, the anxiety, the depression, the downplaying of my wins, the upplaying of my losses, the upplaying of my insecurities. But if I'm trying to help somebody out, I tell them otherwise. Not too quick to take my own advice, but too quick to give it. I have shown an enormous amount of grit. I have done all of the things over again that required me to show myself, to show my kids, to show my employer that I am worth it, that I am willing. It's the amount of willingness that it takes. There's want, and then there's willingness. And what am I willing to do? And I have, to this point, done everything that I possibly could at that time to show myself that I'm willing to do what it takes to get better, to change, to be better, to stay better. That stay power has been at the forefront of my mind. And so when I sit back and wonder if like this or that, I forget how hard I've pushed to get to this point. And it's not to take my foot off the gas. I don't think I can ever take my foot off the gas if I want to stay clean. Because the second I start doing that, and I'm not talking about gym every day for 2 hours, hikes when there's time, like, I'm not talking about that. Just my foot off the gas of like, all right, what do I do now when I'm feeling this way? And maybe this is a pump up session for myself because, I felt like I didn't get enough time at the gym today. I feel like I'm not being as good of a parent as I should be. Like, there's so many things that I feel like I'm lacking in. And when it all starts with a thought, and that thought just starts to fester and it turns into a belief. People today can count on me. They can lean on me. And they can trust me. And I didn't have that like 2 years ago today. They cared for me. And they hoped I would get better. And they wished I would change. And I replaced that with that they can lean on me, they can trust me, and they see that I hold myself to a higher standard than I used to. And if I cycle through it with the 4 agreements, am I impeccable with my word to myself and to others? Do I assume anything? Do I take anything personally? And am I doing my best? That can always be the reset. That can always be the reflection. Am I giving myself a break when I feel like I'm not good enough? Anybody could come across this and watch it and say, fuck all that, man. He's almost got 2 years and he's struggling. And there I go, worrying about what other people think. But I would, for anybody who would think that, ask yourself, the alternative is so much worse. I would much rather be going through this right now than driving down the 5 freeway, hating myself, because now it's Tuesday, and I didn't sleep at all this weekend, and I spent the last day wondering what I would say to call in sick, but I've used all those up. So now I'm just going to go in sweaty, scared, and nervous, anxious, and with each mile I get closer to work, be afraid that much more, to the point of where, like, I'm considering, if I just hit this car the right way, I won't have to deal with any of this anymore. And my kids could be over my grave at my wake, if I even get one, saying, damn, man, if he could have just found that one day. Or I could be heading to work thinking, man, I didn't make enough gym time today. But I did get to connect. I did get to love. And I did get to get the kids off to daycare. And I did get some gym time. And I did get ready. And I did get to cut my own hair. And I do have a day left of the month. And I don't have to go into work wondering if they're going to know that I got loaded over the weekend. It's like the fears that I have today, I prayed for then. What I would have given to have these fears 2 years ago. Like, these are luxury fears compared to what it was. And I'll sit here and I will upplay them and downplay the shit out of my fucking wins. And just talking about this, and I know I'm going to post it, just talking about this, getting it off my chest, where I'm not timed and I can do it on my own and I can get it out. Already I feel better with each mile I get closer to my job. And I'm not going to be late. And I didn't fucking give myself 3 minutes to get ready, smell test of the underwear, smell test of the socks. My clothes are semi wrinkled or super wrinkled, so I threw them in the dryer. Or worse yet, my shirts I didn't wash, so I hand washed them in the sink and then threw them in the dryer. Tripping that I'm going to be late, and what excuse am I going to use, because I don't even want to be there anyways. So if you can relate with that, anybody that would come across this, if anybody's going to come across this, then this like worrying that my kids feel a certain way, worrying them if I'm good enough as far as I've gone, worrying about shit that I'm gonna be able to take care of, and knowing that the future looks really good, that the relationship that I have with my partner is super strong, that the relationship that I have with God is super strong. And I don't have to say it's the strongest it's ever been, but I can't remember a time it felt this strong. Knowing that in less than 2 months, instead of saying, oh, summer's gonna be over, saying, I'm gonna have 2 years. I'm gonna get that black tag again. I'm gonna be hiking up a mountain to put that black tag that I have, that I carry with me for the last 4 fucking years, or whatever, 3 fucking years, 4 fucking years, actually. And I'm gonna be able to put it in that mailbox. And I'm gonna be able to say goodbye to that part of the journey. And this is a long one, but I was going through it. So, yeah, everything is okay. It's all good. I feel good about myself. I don't feel great about myself, but I feel good about myself. And it's all going to work out. And I got to spend this weekend going to church, watching The Chosen, being part of my home group, being there. Yeah. And that's all I got. Have a good day today. Love you, Rodney.